Hey everyone, it's Jenny at JC Cards and I'm excited to be joining you again for another video hop hosted by Altenew. This one celebrates the recent May 2021 stamps release Exotic Garden. I'm going to be featuring the Tropical Jungle stamp set and the Monstera Leaves 3D embossing folder for my card today, and I'll show you how I made it. If you want to take part in a giveaway and you're within the time frame, you can see more in the description box below, as well as prizes that you can win and the next stop on today's video hop, so do check it out below. Now, as I said, I'm going to be featuring the Monstera Leaves 3D embossing folder and the Tropical Jungle stamp set. This is a 6x8 larger stamp set featuring two giant sets of leaves, and they have coordinating dies as well. I'm first going to dry emboss the folder onto this coloured cardstock, and this is kind of like a really nice kind of sagey green, bright green colour. And I played around with where I had my panel. It's trimmed to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 before I ran it through my die cutting machine. So I just wanted to make sure I had the leaves appearing from the base of the cardstock, because this is going to be a landscape card. So I just wanted to make sure I had the right placement. Now I'm using a Platinum 6 from Spellbinders. The sandwich you use for these embossing folders may be different to mine. I find that what works best is just to place the cardstock into the embossing folder and add one cutting plate on top before I run it through. I have to apologise here, my camera stopped recording. It's never happened to me before, so I can only apologise. But the next step in this card is super simple. Take out your dry embossed piece and then very lightly run some Green Fields ink or some green ink darker than the cardstock over the top. You can use a blending tool to help. Just be careful not to get in those crevices. I did also add a little bit of antique gold as well, just to darken up the edges of those leaves, but that is literally all I did to that panel. As you'll see, you get a really nice defined look. I then heat embossed the other leaf set from the Tropical Jungle stamp set onto some vellum using copper embossing powder, and I'm going to die cut it out with the coordinating die. These are really large bunches of leaves. They'll completely go across a landscape card, and I just wanted to take advantage of that with the layout of my card today. And there's some nice little details in the way that that die cuts out the image as well. Now, to adhere a panel of vellum is not always the easiest, so I'm using some of this Cool Tack foam tape. It's actually completely clear, and as long as you don't get it dirty before you apply it, it actually works really well with vellum. I'm using 40-pound vellum here. It's good thick vellum from Altenew, and you cannot see that foam tape through it. And I also did apply it behind the stems of the leaves where the embossing powder was thickest, just to add extra kind of invisibility to that foam tape. I'm going to trim out, just fussy cut around some of those leaves to add some more interest and allow the white card base that I'm going to use to peep through. And I'm going to apply it with the new Altenew Foam Dimension tape. It's a big mama roll. I'm just going to pull off some of the strips of that and apply it to the back of that panel that I have fussy cut out. And this was super simple fussy cutting, by the way. Just be sure to get sharp scissors. And then I'm going to pop it onto a white note card made from 110-pound Nina Solar white cardstock, so it's good and sturdy. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to use the Here For You from the Tropical Jungle stamp set. I also made one with the thanks. And I'm going to stamp it with my Misty using Obsidian Pigment Ink. This is a sticky ink as well as being a great detail black sentiment ink. And the benefit of that is, whilst it's quick drying, if you get it quick enough, you can actually heat emboss with it as well. So I'm going to use that copper embossing powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle it in a straight line halfway up the sentiment. And then heat emboss it, and it will just give a nice little bit of glitz that coordinates with those heat embossed leaves, while still showing that black part of the sentiment as well. You can see in this card, I used the same technique, different sentiment, and I also used gold embossing powder, so you can see that different look that you can get. I finished off with a few green sparkly gems, and that finishes my card. And that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed. My apologies for the little technical hitch in the middle. Be sure to check the description box below to see who the next stop on the hop is, as well as details on how you can win a giveaway with Altenew. Thanks for watching. Bye.